Kelvin Martin, the intended receiver. So what started out with high hopes for the Eagles is sputtered for a moment. And that means that Tom Hutton will come in to kick. And guess what? He's going to kick to Andre Coleman. And in case you weren't with us earlier, Coleman on a kickoff on a punt return went 88 yards.
The key here, Charlie, the heck with distance, hang time. Got to get it up. Let your guys get underneath it so they can cover this kick.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Average hang time. And popping loose down the sideline. It is Andre Coleman again. He is having an outstanding return day.
That was way too much of a line drive kick. You know, an average hang time usually produces with a quality returner like Coleman an above average return. See that blocking? The blocking sets up inside and he goes outside. He ignores his picket fence they've got all built up for him and just goes outside and uses his speed. That was not enough hang time out of Hutton right there. That set up that return for the Chargers and put the Eagles defense in a hole against an offense from San Diego that will come out and get physical.
51 yards on the kick, 24 yards on the return at the Eagles' 48-yard line. There is nothing there for Natron, and still he manages to wiggle his way for about 2.5. For Andre Coleman in the ball game, total yardage, kickoff returns, and punt returns, 112 yards. Whoa.
You know, right there, the Chargers did something I think is significant. They brought Shannon Mitchell in, one of their big tight ends, and put him in Kapunu's normal spot as a fullback. He's still in there, right there on the 50-yard line. You get that kind of girth, that 6'2", 250 is now bleed blocking. That means we're running it.
Second down and 7. Humphries fires underneath the coverage. Pass is complete at the 44-yard line. Tony Martin pulls this one in. Mark McMillan was there for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now the sun is really breaking through the clouds. Finally, we're going to have sunshine this afternoon. Right now, it is shining on the San Diego Chargers.
And this is probably the critical down of this game for the Philadelphia defense. They have got to stop the Chargers here, get their offense a chance to get the ball back. Points on the board is certain death for Philadelphia.
Third down and 5. A quick out is dropped. Tony Martin. Martin was looking around before he caught the ball.
Well, Charlie, if you can't play real good defense, why not count on the offense playing real bad offense? This is good execution up until the very last minute. A little screen set up, and most receivers catch much better with their hands than they do when the ball bounces off their chest. But Mr. Martin's ball, that ball bounced off the hands, the leg, the knee, the ground.
And here's another Mr. Martin, Kelvin Martin of the Eagles. Oh, this one is hanging high. He was the return man, but he's going to reach in the end zone. Meanwhile, downfield, Tony Martin, I believe, takes out one of the officials for the touchback. Oh, there was a collision at the goal line. And one of the officials went down. He's all right. 43 yards on the kick. Back in a moment. The report on Reuben Davis' sprained left knee is going in for x-rays. 9:40 time remaining in the ballgame. Eagles first down at their own 20-yard line. And they open on the ground. There's nothing there. Jumping to the backside and he's trying to find an opening is Charlie Garner. And he's a tough little ball player. You know, that's the second and third effort, and he manages to pick up maybe 3 yards on the play. He's rushed for 47 yards in 10 carries, obviously a 4.7-yard average. I gave some return yardage a minute ago for Andre Coleman of the San Diego Chargers. I was way under the number. Total punt return yardage and kickoff return yardage combined, 208 yards combined. 208 yards. Much more impressive than 112. Cunningham slips away from a would-be sack and goes down to the 25-yard line.
This is an opportunity, Charlie. You mentioned the would-be sack, and this is an opportunity for Leslie O'Neal working against the rookie Barrett Brooks to take over a football game that's close and critical for his San Diego Chargers. 91 right there, working against 76. That's just a mismatch. That's experience, strength, and speed really dominating in a one-on-one matchup by a young guy that at this point is guessing. All pros and Pro Bowlers take over football games at this point.
Third down and 5. Cunningham throws right flat. Pass is complete. He drills it to his receiver with a Charger hanging all over. Clark was there but never turned around.
That looked like one of those, your basic, gee, look what I got. Inside receiver is right as 81. We got a pick working on the outside, a quick slip. And I mean, it's just a nice offensive play. That's the way John Gruden, the offensive coordinator, saw Mike Holmgren draw it up in Green Bay, and Holmgren saw it drawn up that way because Bill Walsh drew it up that way in San Francisco.
And it draws 10 yards to the 35-yard line. First down. Cunningham looks left, and it's knocked away. O'Neal gets a piece of the action. Sean Lee was also there for San Diego.
Another staple of this offensive attack is the quick swing pass out into the flat to the running back, and here's something you can't game plan for. Not a bad job by the rookie, but you know, if you can't pressure the quarterback, you do what Leslie O'Neal does in that case. You get up and you make such an obstacle to your body, he can't complete that thing, because Cunningham probably had 5 to 6 yards in his quick completion if he could have gotten it in there.
Cunningham playing with that bruised shoulder now has completed 19 of 29 for 166 yards and 3 touchdowns. As Ricky Waters is figuring out they'll drop him at the line of scrimmage. And again, the man at the point of attack is Leslie O'Neal. Chris Mims was also chasing him for San Diego.
Well, watch what Leslie O'Neal does on this play. You don't have to make the tackle to be the key person. See him stretch it, working against the rookie McCrary. It stretches. He puts it inside, and he knows what's inside. Inside is what defenders call pursuit. And the pursuit made that play, but it was set up by Leslie O'Neal.
Ricky Waters is pursued for 76 yards, rushing. It's third down and 10. Cunningham to throw. Steps up deep. Steps forward. Little punt plate to the outside, and then he tries to make something happen. He is nailed at the 41-yard line. The ball came loose. San Diego is going to insist that they have it, but they will not. And that's really the first time in the ball game that Cunningham has been on a freelance basis. And this is something in reality the Eagles wanted to stay out of.
Good pressure by the Chargers defensive line, making something happen. O'Neal and Lee. And you said he was trying to make something happen, Randall Cunningham. All he really made happen by the pressure that he got and stepping up and running. Good job by O'Neal. What did he make happen? He made the communication in his brain shorten out real quick.
And the crowd reaction is they just replayed on the giant vision here just what you saw at home. It is fourth down. Tom Hutton to kick. Good hang time on this one. Coleman is going to call for a fair catch. It will take an Eagles bounce though, and then they touch it and it goes into the end zone for the touchback. They had a chance to down it inside of the 5, and they couldn't keep it out of the end zone. 58 yards on the kick. We've got a timeout. The Chargers have the lead. We'll be back in a moment.
The Eagles had a golden opportunity to pin the Chargers back here. See, that's Jimmy Johnson getting the ball, trying to throw it back. That's a matter of being aggressive, guys. But you know what? You got to also be smart. You did your job. You know, Hutton did his part of the equation. The coverage team again pulls a dumb move.
First down, San Diego. Here's Natron. He's got 5 yards. He's 10, 15 out there around the 40-yard line. So Natron Means now, as he rushes for 17, has rushed for 114 yards in the ballgame and 63 after the first hit.
And I don't know how many yards he gets before he gets that first hit. Here, look at this. You know, 5. That wasn't a hit. That was a grope. I mean, that was unbelievable. That's just a good physical job and game planning by the Chargers. They have an opportunity here to take this thing over just by sheer force.
First down, San Diego, 39-yard line. Quick out, Tony Martin knocked away.
William Fuller working against Stan Brock. Knocked that thing down. You know, we'll take a look at this. This is a case where, you know, offensive linemen are supposed to fire out into the defensive lineman's legs. They're trying to get those hands down. Brock did his part. He tried to fire out and do it, but he just couldn't get the hands down, and that's why Fuller did it. Good veteran play.
Humphreys is completed now, only 8 of 20 for 116 yards and a touchdown, but the Chargers lead it 27-21. 2 key plays for San Diego. Here is Natron right up the middle. Flag is down. He's got the first down if it holds. Normally this is offensive holding.
Yeah, this is going to be a holding play, a holding penalty against the Chargers line.
The two big plays, in case you weren't with us, Willie Clark jarred the ball loose, and Junior Seau came up with it from 30 yards
Holding.
away. Here's the call.
Number 73 offense, 10 yards. Repeat second down.
Now we'll go back and clean up on what happened here, and then I'll fill you in on the two big plays.
There's Isaac Davis right here, working at right guard. Crashes in. Look at the right hand. Tries to get the spin move. Andy Harmon tries to escape, and that's why they call the holding.
It is second down and 20. Ronnie Harmon is in the offensive set. Humphries to throw. Comes over the middle. Pass is complete at the 40-yard line. He'll get 11 of the yards back as we go to New York. And Greg Gumbel for an update.
All right, thank you, Charlie. In the Astrodome in Houston, the Oilers just pulled even with the Browns, but here comes Vinny Testaverde again. 35 yards to Michael Jackson. Second touchdown pass of the afternoon for Testaverde. The Browns lead the Oilers 14-7, just about 8.5 to play in Houston. Charlie?
And Greg, here the San Diego Chargers lead the Philadelphia Eagles 27-21 with 4:44 left. Third down and 9. Humphries throws. Has a man wide open. It is Sean Jefferson. First down at the 45-yard line of the Eagles. A gain of 15 yards on the play. Converting on third down and 9.
That was a job of protection for Humphries that was just good enough, gave him just enough time to get this thing off. Why? Why is this such a nice completion? Well, when you're that lonely, the nearest player is Frazier. He's 5 yards away. You're going to get a completion when you get just enough time. The rookie Mamula was right there, but he was right there a little late.
First down and 10. Here is Natron, slips a tackle in the backfield. He had to slip a couple of tackles to end up losing a yard on the play. He cannot get back to the line of scrimmage. A check of the clock shows 3:53. That is the time remaining.
Number 1.
And the Eagles want to stop the clock with a timeout.
Well, watch William Thomas. He makes this play for Ray Rhodes and the Philadelphia Eagles. Comes off the corner, just burns in here and disrupts this play by Natron Means. Quick blitz. You know why that was so successful? That's because they've got a wide receiver, Martin, trying to block on Thomas. That's why it's so successful. Martin overran him. Thomas blitzed inside, read the formation.
Dan Humphries not having the greatest day statistically. Natron Means has rushed for more than 100, but the key plays, Junior Seau, the fumble recovery, 30 yards, his first NFL touchdown. That was the last score with 1:16 going into halftime. San Diego taking a 3.17-14 lead. Then Andre Coleman for the Chargers, an 88-yard punt return at the 13-18 mark of the third quarter that put the Chargers up by 10. Then factor in John Carney's field goals at 35-21, and you have the Chargers out in front by a score 27-21. Now with 3:53 left to go in the ballgame. Second and 11, and here is Natron just straight ahead as he'll go to the 41-yard line. He'll pick up about 5 on the play. Third down and 6. Kurt Coveo with the tackle.
Well, the thing to look for right now out of this Philadelphia defense, besides the obvious here where they've called another timeout, is the fact that, hey, you've got to strip the ball. They're going to go after the ball. They've seen Natron Means put the ball one time on the ground already. Watch them go after his arms. But more importantly, from the Chargers standpoint, if you're going to try to arm tackle Natron Means, Bobby Ross has got a shot at watching his running back go an awful long way if you try to arm tackle this guy.
The Chargers have only converted 4 of 12 third down opportunities. The Philadelphia Eagles have 1 timeout remaining. That Oakland-Kansas City game now tied at 17. Philadelphia is at Oakland next week, and Denver will be at San Diego, and we'll be there for that ballgame. The Broncos are hosting the Washington Redskins later on this afternoon at Mile High Stadium, another sellout crowd. 3:45, that is the time remaining. It is third down and 6 for the Chargers. Ronnie Harmon is in the offensive set. Harmon delays. He goes to the other side. Way underthrows the intended receiver. As the Eagles had all kinds of pressure coming up front. Here they may have got a